All right, welcome back for video number 2. This one won't be as long. We've already figured out that our reactants are 2HCl plus 1 atom of magnesium, and that they yield a product, which is MgCl2, magnesium chloride, and some gas that was escaping out of the top of the test tube. And so we start by modeling out the product that we know, and that's MgCl2. So I'm just going to steal from over here my Mg, and my Cl2, which is 2 Cls. Pull that one over here, and pull this one over here. Here's why modeling is so awesome, because now we know that some of our magnesium was used, in fact all of it was used in our product. We see that the magnesium bonded with 2 chlorines. Okay, so the magnesium from here came over here, boom, and the chlorines here broke apart from their hydrogen buddies, and they formed up with the magnesium to make magnesium chloride. Okay, and so the law of conservation of matter states matter can't be created or destroyed. Well, it wasn't. We just made a new substance out of some atoms we already had over here by causing a chemical reaction. The only problem is we're still missing 2 of our atoms. How do I know that? Because law of conservation of matter states matter can't be created or destroyed, and atoms make up matter, so the number and type of atoms in the reactants over here, all my reactants, have to equal all my products. Well, process of elimination, my magnesium in my products was used, so it was used in my reactants. A chlorine was used over here, so it had to be used over here. A chlorine was used over here, so it had to be over here. But in order to make this equation truly represent the reaction, I have to account for my 2 hydrogens. Well, if you remember, I said that there was a gas escaping out of the top. Well, that gas is made of 2 hydrogens. The gas escaping out of the top of the test tube account for my other 2 hydrogens, H2. And now, if you look at the equation, the reactant side now equals the product side. I've already used my magnesium and my 2 chlorines, and look, also my 2 hydrogens. So I'm going to go ahead and cross them out. In my reactants, let's scroll down. In my reactants, there were 2 hydrogen, there were 2 chlorine, and there was 1 magnesium atom. And in my products, there is 1 magnesium, 2 chlorines, and 2 hydrogens. That is what we want you to understand. That because of the law of conservation of matter, when chemical reactions happen, they create new substances out of the original substances. They break apart the atoms. I'm sorry, they don't break apart the atoms. My mistake. The molecules break apart. The atoms themselves do not change. They just reform new products on the other side. The number and types of atoms in the reactants and products do not change. So any question about the law of conservation of matter or the mass involved, the reactants always have to equal the products, which brings us to one final point. And that is, if I have, like I had up here, HCl, 2HCl plus magnesium, and it yields magnesium chloride plus H2. The mass of the reactants has to be the same as the mass of the products because no atoms were created or destroyed, and because atoms give molecules and matter their mass. I hope that was helpful.